right, check it out. This staking rewards emission schedule for Illuvium is at 78 of 78, 3 million ILV of 3 million ILV. So as you can see right here, June 30th, as I'm recording this right now, is the last day of staking rewards. So the question is, what happens now? Should you remain staked? Should you stake more? Where should you stake? Should you stake just your ILV? Should you stake your SLP, which is half ILV, half ETH? Maybe you remove that SLP, which is half Ethereum and half ILV, convert it all to ILV and stake it back into the ILV pool. And if you do choose to unstake your SLP, I know there's a lot of people who just staked it years ago and maybe forgot how to unstake it. So at the end of this video, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to unstake your SLP, which is your Sushi liquidity pool tokens. But anyways, the decision is going to be ultimately up to you. None of this is financial advice, but I'm going to tell you what all this means in this video. So stay tuned. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below if there's any more questions after this is all done. All right, so going back to the staking, you can see right now, you're not going to be getting any staking rewards, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get anything from staking your ILV. We're just in a short little lapse period right now. So one of the big utilities of ILV is revenue distribution, or in short, RevDis. And I'm not going to get too much into that. I have plenty of other videos explaining that if you don't know what that means. But with open beta coming July 25th, and Illuvium is going to be generating revenue from that point on, RevDis is going to start up fairly quickly, and you'll be able to get a share of that revenue through revenue distribution. Now that one's a little more straightforward. Me personally, I'm keeping all of my ILV staked in the ILV pool. Now the SLP pool is the one that you're going to have to take a little more time to consider. So the big thing you need to understand about the SLP pool is that it's always going to be half ILV and half Ethereum. And even with RevDis starting up in, just a few weeks, you're only going to get RevDis on the ILV portion of that stake. So if you think of the two pools, if you have $10,000 staked in the ILV pool, you're getting RevDis on all $10,000. And if you have $10,000 staked in the SLP pool, you're only getting RevDis on half of it, or $5,000. But before you go and just pull everything out, there are a couple benefits to having it staked in the SLP pool. For one is that you're still accumulating the trading fees from Sushi. So whenever ILV and ETH is traded on SushiSwap, there are small fees taken out, and that is accumulated by the liquidity providers. And I will admit that is a very small amount compared to the previous staking rewards. The other reason that I'm considering keeping some of my allocation in this SLP pool is because the SLP pool is kind of like self-balancing. So as the price of one of these tokens goes down, it actually sells off a little bit of the other token and rebuys that token that's going down. So you always stay with that 50-50. So for example, if let's say Ethereum stays exactly where it is and ILV drops, then you're just going to sell off a little of that Ethereum and buy a little more ILV just behind the scenes for you. So if you think there's a good possibility of ILV dropping significantly against Ethereum, then you're actually reducing your risk a little bit by keeping your tokens in that SLP pool. But this is also the same thing as what you hear as impermanent loss. So let's say, for example, if ILV outperforms ETH by a ton, say ETH 2x's and ILV 10x's. Well, that whole time ILV is 10xing, it's selling off a little of that ILV and buying a little more Ethereum. So your impermanent loss is what you would have had if you had just kept ILV straight up rather than in that SLP pool. But as it stands right now, I don't think there's any plans on any incentive to keep the community staked in this pool. When this first came out, 3 years ago, this was the main pool that was trading ILV and ETH. And now, with Uniswap, with a lot of centralized exchanges, it's not really necessary to incentivize providing liquidity to this pool anymore because there's plenty of other ways to get ILV with low slippage. And so when it comes to this pool, me personally, like I said, this is not financial advice. I'm taking some of my SLP out, which I'm actually going to show you in a quick tutorial right now, but I'm also leaving some in because I do like how it balances itself out. Like for example, just over the past 2 months when Ethereum came down maybe 15-20%, but ILV came down like 55-60%. That whole time it was selling a little of the Ethereum to buy a little bit more ILV. So my ILV holding actually performed a little better than if I just held ILV. And I like having some of that within my portfolio. So let's get into how you're going to remove some of this SLP if you have it. All right, so first you're going to make sure your wallet is connected up here, and you're going to go over to vesting, and you're going to find whatever you want to withdraw, that says SLP right here. So I have some SLP that's still locked up, but what I'm planning on removing right now are going to be these two stakes right here. So I'm going to click both of these. I'm going to make sure I'm logged into my hardware wallet. By the way, Ledger Stacks, highly recommend. I have a video tutorial that may or may not be out by the time you're watching this. And if you want to get one yourself, I have an affiliate link down below and I'd really appreciate you using that. All right, so you can see down here, I have 2 total stakes. So I'm removing 3.5 SLP. Off the top of my head, I'm not even sure exactly how much that is worth, but that's about half of what I have in the SLP pool. So I'm going to be taking that out right now. So I'll click withdraw. All right. And you can see gas fees is actually pretty low right now. So the fact that this is only $2 is a great time to be, making moves on Ethereum. Continue. I'm going to go to my hardware wallet. So sign the transaction, withdraw 3.5 SLP. Now, if you were just withdrawing your ILV, this would be all you need to do. The ILV will go straight to your wallet. So what's happening right now is you're actually just getting the SLP tokens. So the Sushi liquidity pool tokens go to your wallet. So you still need to remove that from Sushi. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to Sushi Swap. Again, make sure you're connected to your right wallet. You're going to go over to pools and you're going to click my positions. Now you might need to wait a few minutes for this to show up. You just made a transaction on the blockchain. All right, so that was the issue there. It automatically put me to Sushi Swap V3, but this pool is actually staked in Sushi Swap V2. So you can see these tokens are valued at looks like $3.66 thousand. And this is the trading fees I was talking about. So even though you're not seeing these fees, on the Illuvium staking dashboard, it's because you're not getting them from Illuvium. You're actually getting them straight from Sushi. And those rewards right now for the fees are, about 2.5%. But now I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to remove and I'm going to go max. So after I remove this, I'm going to receive 27.49 ILV and 0.5349 Ethereum. You can see up here it's about $1.83 thousand each. Permit SLP, assign that, and then you're gonna remove liquidity. So basically, I'm sending over 3.49 of the SLP tokens, and I'm gonna receive 27.5 ILV and then about half an Ethereum. Estimated fee for this always seems to be a little higher. Ethereum gas fees are some of the lowest I've seen over the past few years, so $5 is actually a good price for that. I'm gonna confirm, sign on my wallet. All right, so you can see removing liquidity, and then I should get that ILV and Ethereum sent to my wallet. Successfully removed. No LP tokens are found. So now I'm done here on Sushi Swap. And if I refresh, I shouldn't have hit refresh. There's been some issues with this happening for some reason. But I guess if I looked in my wallet real quick, I should see I actually already had about 27 in there. So now I have 55 of the ILV. I have that Ethereum. So now I'm unstaked and I can do what I want with this. I can restake my ILV into the ILV pool for RevDis, which, while not financial advice, is something that I'm probably going to end up doing. And then with this Ethereum, I may choose to buy some more ILV, or really, I'm kind of looking at Lizcoin and the staking that's coming with that. That's going to be starting at some point in Q3 of this year. So I might just start stacking a little bit of the Ethereum, and when the Lizcoin comes out, I'll do the same thing I just did with ILV. I'll pair some Liz with some Ethereum and stake into their protocol. Start this next cycle for another 3 years. And I'll definitely be making more tutorials, especially when that Lizcoin comes out, on how to do this over there, because it always seems to be different. Highly doubt they're going to be using Sushi Swap, so they're going to be doing it on some other platform. But that's it. Again, none of this is financial advice. Hope this was informative. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.